Back in 1984, my father was killed in a terrorist attack. He was attending the Conservative Party conference. And I'd already spent a few years meditating and living in the Himalayas. I very quickly came to a commitment to find a way to bring compassion to the violence that had happened, to find a way to understand those who'd killed my father. But I didn't know what that meant. A journey started, a journey where I was completely in the unknown, but I trusted that life was going to bring me the experiences. And I knew that part of me wanted to blame and make an enemy, make someone wrong and me right, keep me as a victim, and I would probably become bitter and resentment and close down. And part of me knew that I could grow in empathy and find a way to transform the pain and the violence and find a way to contribute. So every day I was making that choice. It's been a long journey, but in the year 2000, I got a chance to meet the man who planted the bomb, Patrick McGee. And I wanted to meet him, to listen to him, to see him as a human being, to see beyond the label. That was all I wanted. And I thought it would be a one-off meeting. I was terrified. I remember going there and thinking, am I going to regret this? Am I going to want to blame him? Will I be angry? Is he even going to turn up? And there he was, sitting in the same room as me, and I was looking at him and thinking, you're a terrorist, you killed. Another part of me thinking, but you've also got sensitivity, and I can see that you have humanity. And I listened to him deeply, and I was curious as to what was going on beneath the surface of his political ideology. And after about an hour and a half, he stopped talking and he said, I don't know anymore who I am. I want to hear your anger and your pain, and how can I help? And in that moment, he'd taken off his political hat, and he'd opened up and become vulnerable and showed his humanity. And that was more than I'd bargained for, and a new journey started. And this journey carries on, and we've now spoken together over 150 times. We've shared our story. We've shared the power of empathy and of dialogue, and we've worked in different parts of the world. And I have learnt so much. I'm actually grateful to him for what I've learned about my own violence, because it's an incredible reflection of when I want to get back into blaming again, which I can still do. He's there as that reflection. I've learnt about the power of empathy and how at that moment he said my empathy disarmed him, and he'd never been listened to before. He realised he wasn't just experiencing being demonised, but he in fact was demonising the other, and how he could have sat down with my dad and had a cup of tea. How much better we have those cups of tea and create bridges with our enemies and see the humanity in all. And for me, every day I'm choosing to see the humanity in the other, in everyone, to give up blaming. It's not that I've stopped that response in me. When I hurt, I still have that. But I'm now choosing every day to see the humanity and see the person beyond the label.